What I'm about to tell you is going to change the way you see the world. But like any good story, we should start at the beginning. My name is Kalin Kelly, and I never wanted to become a commercial real estate broker. That was never my intention. In fact, 5 years ago, I was intent on disrupting the industry through a startup, hoping that technology would evolve the industry. When that didn't happen, I knew I had to become a broker to change the industry from within. So I spent the last 4 years in San Francisco, in Silicon Valley, protecting founders. I worked as a founder's broker. That's what they actually called me. I protected portfolio companies of very well-known investors. And I decided that in order to disrupt the industry, I need to learn the trade secrets and then make them public and share them, open source data. So I published a book, The Founder's Guide to Hacking Office Space. All of my clients, all of these startups, had one thing in common. They all began with an idea. And it's easy for us to forget that companies begin as ideas, that they start as a sole idea in someone's mind. And then we put that idea into a box. And these boxes come in all different shapes and sizes, with fictional names plastered on the side of the buildings. We even sometimes put boxes within boxes to inspire new ideas. An unconventional source of wisdom, Tony Robbins once said that our life is made up of boxes. We live in a box, we work in a box, we type on a box, and eventually we will die in a box. Now, I promised you that I would change your way of thinking. So I'd like you to just take a moment and think about what that means. Let's not play the slides beforehand. We are literally living our majority of our lives within these boxes. We eat, we sleep, we breathe, we play. We literally live a boxed life. And as these boxes evolve, we will need to evolve with them. I'm sorry, this is going automatically before me. Retail, these boxes, are becoming non-existent. They're becoming extinct. In 2017 alone, nearly 300 stores closed in the United States. We're seeing an uptick in online shopping. The digital economy is changing the way that we interact in these types of stores. In extreme cases, old malls have even been converted into living spaces. Similarly, with grocery stores, these boxes are also evolving. They're evolving through data analytics, smart shopping. Tycoons like Amazon have purchased companies like Whole Foods. And what we're going to see in the future is the online delivery of food and groceries become smarter and more evolved. And eventually, very San Francisco, by drone delivery. Another box that's being disrupted are restaurants, dining. Dining will become less human. We will have these boxes that we can order our food in, and even the staff will be replaced by boxes. Will save us time in line, but we'll lose that human connection that we look for when we go get our coffee, or we go to get our lunch, or we even go out to dinner. Eventually, the only box that will matter, that provides our social connection, will be this one. Now, some of my friends in San Francisco would argue that this particular box hijacks our minds. Well, I would say he may be right. Undoubtedly, I know I sleep with this box, in a box. I spend too much time within this box. And as we enter into the digital economy, what we're going to see is we live vicariously through the avatars that we create on these screens. Connecting in rooms like this, connecting face to face, human to human, will become much more difficult as we enter into the realm of the digital world. Already, we're quantifying our relationships. We're becoming just another number. Number 155 friend on Facebook, 1,000th follower on Twitter. Disconnecting and connecting with a click of a button. We forget that behind these boxes, we are human, and humans need other humans. We need what the boxes provided before they became digitized. And that's authentic connection. A recent study involving cocaine and rats concluded that a rat was less likely to drink water laced with cocaine when in the company of another rat. Now, if company can prevent addiction, what else can it solve? Entrepreneurs, as I'm speaking to the audience, I'm sure many of you are entrepreneurs, we're no stranger to mental health issues. Although it's not nearly talked about enough, entrepreneurs suffer from depression, anxiety, ADHD, and nearly a third of a population of 100 entrepreneurs studied cited that they failed in their startup attempt because of mental health issues. Choosing to become an entrepreneur is choosing to take on more personal risk than any other profession. More financial risk, more health risk, and more emotional risk. One of the most world-renowned entrepreneurs, Steve Jobs, famously gave a speech dedicated to the crazy ones. And he was right. We're all a bit crazy. We're all a bit mad to believe in something bigger than ourselves. And we need that madness in order to evolve new industries. It isn't easy to dive into the unknown head first. It isn't easy to take a risk feeling like you're jumping off of a cliff. And that kind of experience leaves a mark. We recognize one of our own breed, one of our own kind, a fellow entrepreneur, by the stories that we share with one another. These traits, these experiences, they bond us, they unite us. They form a community. The future of boxes will need to look more like this. We will need to build and live and work in these boxes that have a bigger purpose than ever before. They will need to facilitate human connection in the digital economy. This is a photo of a portfolio company of mine. I, too, am an angel investor in San Francisco. And this space is dedicated to the mad ones, to the entrepreneurs, to the ones that believe in a freelance economy and nomadic travel, in using workspace the way we want to use workspace, not in office spaces dimly lit or fluorescent lighting, not in cubicles, but in beautifully designed spaces that inspire us to create and innovate, with people that we bond with people that we understand on a real level. The facts say that it's predicted by 2020 that over 1 billion people in the United States will actually be freelance workers. They won't require a desk. Going back to the box in our pocket, we'll use that as our office space. But when desk space is needed, like the WeWork presentation mentioned before, on-demand workspaces will be available. They'll provide flexibility, and they'll provide convenience, and most of all, they'll provide connection with your fellow peers. This particular co-working space is a bit non-traditional. We like to do things a bit different in Silicon Valley. We like beer, we like wine, and we like to both drink coffee in the morning and end it with a beer and a wine in the evening. So you can see there's a tap room, there's a cafe, there's on-demand desks, meeting rooms, call booths, a lactation room for nursing mothers, because mothers are entrepreneurs too. A little bit of a different way of thinking, a little bit more outside of the box, designed with the humans in mind. Speaking of places that I adore, speaking of other fantastic co-working spaces, I adore your co-working space, Publico. I had the opportunity to visit yesterday, and I think you guys are on the right track as well. As we prepare for a longevity future, not dying, we're working on this in San Francisco, ending aging. If this were to happen, humans may live to 200 years old. And how will that change the ecosystem, our cities, as that may happen? Real estate will be the first to change. It will be the first to evolve. The denser the population, the higher the buildings. The more we will need to live together, come together, to be able to not only connect, but to save land, to save space, practically and pragmatically. Co-living is very popular in San Francisco. Co-living is another way to live. But in actuality, it's pretty traditional. Tribes, way long ago, lived together in villages. Elderly took care of the young, and the young took care of the elderly. And as we evolve into a digital economy where we are so craving human connection, where we're so craving authentic experiences with one another, these types of boxes will be the next generation of connection with those that aren't typically your family, but become a family. I, for one, am excited about this future. And as I end my presentation today, I'd like to leave you with one thought. If I haven't already changed the way that you see the world, we shape our buildings, and thereafter they shape us. Now, I may change the word building to box, but I think you understand the idea. With intention, we can think outside of the box. Thank you.